All right, let's take the national anthem. National anthem. And the ABU anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Chairman of this occasion, Vice Chancellor, ably represented by the DVC academic, Professor Raymond B. Bako, Dean Directors, Professors here present, the inaugural lecturer, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to today's inaugural lecture series number 0624 with the title Demystifying Strategic Management and Entrepreneurship Connectivity, Rediscovering the Soul of Managers from Startup to Established Organization. Lecturer is Professor OLOWU Daudu Yini Malachy. Quickly into the program of event. May I have the kind privilege of the chairman, ably represented by the DVC academic, Professor Bako, to introduce members of the item. In our midst today is the DVC academic, Professor Raymond B. Bako, who is standing in for the chairman of the occasion, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kabir Bala. We also have the Dean of Business School, Professor Idris Ahmed Aliyu, the Head of Department of Business Administration, Professor Kabiru Jinjiri. We have our guest lecturer. We also have the Chairman of the University Organized Lecture Committee in our midst, Professor Jari. We have distinguished professors here, deans and directors as well. Quickly, I seek the permission of the chairman of the occasion to invite the chairman of the University Organized Lecture Committee, Professor Jacob Jari, for his opening remarks. Professor.
The Vice Chancellor, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Raymond Bako, Principal Officers of the University, the inaugural lecturer, deans and directors, professors, department, members of the university community, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. The University Organized Lectures Committee is grateful for your consistency in attending the inaugural lectures. I suppose that our reception of the lectures is informed by our experiences about and our disposition to the subjects discussed. Professor Abdul Malik demonstrated last month the capacity of a thoroughbred Ahmadu Bello University professor to overcome the challenges posed by electricity supply to our university if given adequate funding. The demonstration was succinct, but my mind wavered occasionally. Of our utilities, water supply seems to be what our founding fathers invested in the most, and rightly so. I could not help but marvel at their foresight when I realized during our undergraduate days that apart from the several reservoirs at different parts of the campus, the entire basement of one of the hostel blocks was also a water reservoir. Water supply presently in our university may not be perfect, but imagine if it was in the hands of the same electricity suppliers, those that Professor Abbas in an earlier lecture deductively referred to as the bourgeoisie class. It appears, therefore, that the solution to the challenges posed by any supply chain is to take charge of that supply chain. Two things give me the confidence to believe that we can supply our electricity needs in the near future. The first is the establishment of the University Endowment Foundation Trust. And the second is the lecture to be delivered today by Professor Malachy, OLOWU, entitled Demystifying Strategic Management and Entrepreneurship Connectivity, Rediscovering the Soul of Managers from Startup to Established Organization. Happy listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. With the kind permission of the chairman of this occasion, may I invite the Vice Chancellor, ably represented by the B.Sc academic, Professor Raymond Bako, for his opening remark, for his welcome address.
The chairman, University Organized Lecture Committee, the inaugural lecturer, Professor OLOWU, Daudu Yini Malachy, the Dean of the Faculty of Administration, the Dean of the Faculty of Management Sciences. We have our guest lecturer comes from directors, heads of departments, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Just before we process to this venue, the Vice Chancellor called me to send his warm greetings to everyone who has had the privilege to be here. And in particular, he asked me to congratulate the inaugural lecturer, Professor Malachy. So I bring you warm greetings of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Bala. The university management has maintained the lecture series as an important tradition of university life. And in the past couple of years, we have seen a tremendous surge in the number of professors who have queued up to deliver inaugural lectures. So today's lecture is one in the series of these lectures. I'm here today because the inaugural lecture is not only an academic that I know very well, he's also a friend. And I'm therefore excited to be here, not only to represent the Vice Chancellor, but to be part of the crowd as a friend. So when I was going through his inaugural lecture booklet, I was not surprised that he listed me amongst his group of friends. I want to congratulate you, and I hope other professors who have not done this important duty will find the courage and encouragement to begin to put pen to paper so that we can learn from their wealth of experience. As we listen to Professor Malachy speak to us on demystifying strategic management and entrepreneurship connectivity, rediscovering the soul of managers from startup to established organization, I want to believe we will learn one or two things, and that this will help to shape our thoughts and our ideas about management and entrepreneurship. I wish us a very exciting listening and learning experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Next is the citation of the inaugural lecture. The citation of the inaugural lecturer. Please, Prof, come forward.
I wanted to say the cameraman will cover you.
Of the J.B. Daudu and co baristas and solicitors fame. Few years later, the young Malachy was enrolled into the St. Patrick Roman Catholic Primary School, Magungu, of Magungu local government area of Kogi State in 1972, where he got his first school leaving certificate in 1978. Subsequently, Malachy attended the Mount Carmel College in Ilorin, Kwara State, where he finished in flying colors and got the West African School Certificate in his first city. En route to being an undergraduate, Malachy attended the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria School of Basic Studies from 1983 to 1984. And in 1985, Malachy secured a direct entry admission business administration, and he graduated in 1988. In the academia, Malachy bagged the Master of Science of Business Administration from the same Ahmadu Bello University Zaria in 1994. Later in 2008, Malachy bagged his Doctor of the Philosophy of Business Administration from the same great Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, which has helped in no small measure to deepen his knowledge in management. After his National Youth Service with the Finance Department of the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA Kaduna from 1988 to 1989, Dr. OLOWU Daudu Yini Malachy began his working career with J.B. Daudu and Co. Barristers and Solicitors Zaria as personal administrative assistant, where he worked from 1989 to 1991. A year later, Malachy joined the services of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria as a graduate assistant and rose through the ranks to become a professor of business administration on October. Professor Malachy has served and continued to serve the university, his professional association, and the nation in different capacities. He was the departmental examination officer from 1994 to date. He has been the chief examiner, business management of the interim joint matriculation board of examiners at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. He was a member of the intermediate and junior staff disciplinary committee from 1991 to 2004 and again 2008 to 2016 respectively. He has been the program leader and coordinator of the management specialization of the Department of Business Administration since 2009 and 2011 respectively. He was the MSc coordinator of the department from 2014 to 2016, having earlier served as the assistant coordinator between 2008 and 2010. He was also the MPhil coordinator of the department from 2012 to 2016. Since 2009, Professor Malachy has been a member of the faculty and departmental journal editorial boards, respectively. He is a member of the faculty board organizing committee for international and local conferences since 2010. He has been the chairman of the departmental consultancy, research, seminar, and conference organizing committee from 2014 to date. He is also a member of the Revenue Generation Committee of the Department of Business Administration at Ahmadu University, Zaria since 2017. He was a member of the university-wide committee for the writing of the history of our dear great Ahmadu University, Zaria in 2021. Professor Malachy is among the Gender Research Network team of the Institute of Development Research, ABU Zaria, on gender and their socio-economic development in the 3 geopolitical zones of northern states of Nigeria from year 2000. Industry, Trade and Investment, Industrial Development Department, and Raw Materials Research and Development Council, Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, researches on rural finance, entrepreneurship and management, opportunities, tools, and challenges since 2019. He is a member of the policy project of the United States Agency for International Development on Program Management for PMTCT, site coordinators, and program managers in the public and private sectors, health institutions in Nigeria. Professor Malachy has taught and supervised many students at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. In fact, he has graduated and mentored over 11 Doctor of Philosophy, 13 Master of Philosophy, 36 Master of Science, and over 150 Master of Business. Invited guests, members of the university community here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our inaugural lecturer, Professor Daudu Yini Malachy. Thank you for that.
No, thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, principal officers of the university, eminent scholars and colleagues, religious and traditional leaders, businessmen and women, citizen administrators. On this day, 28 August 2024, I feel greatly delighted and honored to be delivering the 06/24 series of inaugural lectures. This tradition remains tall, towering and well treasured, one in this university, and I see it as a reassuring sign that all hope is not yet lost in academia. There is a strong reason why I see this as a monumental event, because their attainment in our university has borne a hallmark that could be advertised to the rest of the academic world. It is therefore heartening to tell you that there is still plenty to admire in this university, Mr. Vice Chancellor. If it was negative, otherwise, I would not be standing before you, sir. The reality is that 99% of leadership occurs not from the top, but from the middle of an organization. And if we all do the things we are capable of doing, we will literally astound ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I was of the Faculty of Administration, where knowledge is the driving force in virtually all facets of human development, which poses interesting challenges to lecturers who constantly are expected to chart the path for the use of knowledge, teaching, and research for sustainable development in the creation of ABU, Business School, with this rationale. To meeting the demands of the effective management of businesses and judicious utilization of limited resources facing businesses, and also the realization that the existing traditional programs or models used in management education are not sufficient in tackling current needs of businesses. For us, in the business school, we embrace this unique privilege because it was in line with our vision, which states that to be a leading business school recognized globally as a provider of effective and dynamic business education and leadership training. But Providence, however, made this fail, and the University Senate collapsed us into the new Faculty of Management Science by the wisdom of the University Senate. Hence, the Department of Business Administration, where I got my elevation to the exalted position of a professor by God's grace and blessing, have much to be proud of me. First, as I stand before you, the third professor of the then faculty ABU Business School, second from the department, and fourth from the new Faculty of Management Science to deliver an inaugural lecture. Secondly, through initiating and sharing concern over the years of overcoming the inconsistency of research ideas and the seemingly repetition and replication of research topics presented by our academic graduate students, as well as the rate at which research proposals are turned down by experienced researchers, led to our annual departmental graduate colloquium and first faculty postgraduate colloquium between 10th and 14th August 2021. Thirdly, the inspiration to undertake one's own research presented in international conferences and competitive events, ability to bring people of different backgrounds, skills, expertise, and perspectives together to brainstorm ideas, overcoming obstacles, providing innovative thinking, and utilize creative problem solving for the betterment of the nation is a way that helps increase efficiency for businesses, led to our international conference on digital transformation, sustainable development, perspective and implication for global economy 2023. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, this propitious occasion that comes once in an academia's lifetime is a great milestone in my life and career. This privilege has marked a point of movement in my academic career. It may not suggest that I have conquered the world or climbed the mountain top, but I could begin to look realistically backward to see the hurdles or shoulders roots of the mountain I have been privileged to overcome. It is an opportunity to assemble the town and gowns in order to communicate in part my academic/research stewardship, by implication, my contribution to knowledge. I am not good at praise singing, the most crucial fiber of growth in any academic environment. It's known by that simple term, philosophy. The following question then arises. If our personal philosophy as academia is still shaped by universal academic philosophy entrenched in the early academics under the canopy of the university. 2, is the philosophy of the university management still congruent with that of the early universities or of the world-acclaimed universities whose philosophy has been anchored on this tripod stand: excellence, interdependence, independence, and relevance? Or is the philosophy of the university management now simply emerged in the outer crust of the national political leadership's philosophy? My Vice Chancellor, sir, with the current happenings within our university system, the answer to this question remain a puzzle, sir. However, the relevant solution is not simply what shall we do tomorrow, but rather what shall we do today in order to get ready for tomorrow. This is where strategic management and entrepreneurship comes in. Strategic management is not a box of tricks or a bundle of techniques. It is an analytical thinking and commitment of resources to action. While entrepreneurship teaching is that start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Because entrepreneurship and strategic management are two separate fields, but interconnected and encapsulate within the broader realm of management where I profess, but have their own distinct focus, closely related, and may collaborate. The Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this inaugural lecture is on these two domains. This can simply be explained as changing direction at a moment's notice in order to meet the changing customer and company need. For example, years ago, managerial emphasis is a typical corporation was on operation. The major question for manager then was how to utilize the scarce resources at its disposal in producing goods and services efficiently at a price consumers are willing to pay. This efficient use of scarce resources is still a commanding concern till today for management of all organizations because of the turbulent and rapidly changing business environment. This revolves around two fundamental issues that are occurring simultaneously: the changes in the world economy and the shift in the practice of management. This led to giving high priority all over the world to prompting entrepreneurship in the form of startup as a policy activity. Hence, there lies a dear need for government to foster the growth and fruition of startups since it directly correlates to economic growth. The big question is, what makes the situation of entrepreneurs starting new ventures different from that of managers in established firms with regard to efficient use of scarce resources? We all know that unlike managers in established organizations who generally follow or modify pre-existing routes already selected by others, entrepreneurs begin with mostly a blank slate. They must initiate rules or principles and experiment with them until they find the most effective or appropriate ones for their new businesses. In other words, they must have soul. Managing without a soul has become an epidemic, especially in Nigeria, in both organizations, both startups and in established organizations. Many managers and entrepreneurs these days seem to specialize in killing cultures of getting things done through others at the expense of human management. Many come with a distorted expression of management. Most are educated out of context, taught to believe that they can manage anything, whereas in actual fact, they have learned to manage nothing. Managing without soul is bad for businesses. Of a river, helpful. Like a river, an organization may appear static and calm in view on a map or in the moving river, whether swimming, drowning, or safely ensconced in boats. Since the central objective of organizational science is to comprehend wealth creation or generation. The Vice Chancellor, sir, to achieve this objective, this lecture is divided into 3 sections. Section 1 is the introduction I've just finished. Section 2 examines the key concept, strategic management and entrepreneurship synthesis, aligning the concept with the 6 junction fields between strategic management and entrepreneurship, consolidating of strategic management and entrepreneurship as a field, my contribution towards sustainability of Nigerian economy, ways of recovering the soul of managers, as well as aspects of startups. Managers need to preserve acknowledgement. Conceptualization. There are 5 areas which this lecture will focus on, but rather not to bore the audience. These 5 areas include the concept of startup, the concept of established organization, the concept of entrepreneurship, and the concept of strategic management. Startup, for example, we know that startups are newly born organizations struggling for existence, mostly formed based on brilliant ideas from entrepreneurs with the aim to grow to succeed, and mentioned in literature of management, organization, and entrepreneurship theories. There are other areas of startup. Those areas, I will just briefly highlight them. The life cycle of a startup, at the same time, the theoretical area where they fall in. There are three major areas where they are anchored on: theories in organizational approach, theories in management approach, and theories in entrepreneurial approach. Similarly, we also look at entrepreneurship, the meaning of entrepreneurship, and its utilization of resources, as well as strategic management. What is the main focus of strategic management actually are, and how they turn into companies. Because of this, because from the work of scholars of management, organization, and entrepreneurship, and others who pursue these challenges, reduce the application of startup to only theories in these three fields in trying to provide a clear picture for startup. These early studies are of paramount importance to me due to these following reasons. 1, high rate of failure. 2, startup problems. 3, success stories. Then 4, valley of death. This is the area of most concern. There is a black box we call valley of death, which is more a metaphor than a well-defined stage. And it is because of this reason we decided to delve into this area to actually provide a light for us to know, come together to attain a common goal. People feel that they can fulfill their needs more effectively when they become part of a group. Here, the individual goals are forgone for the group goals, and the group goals are compromised for organizational goals, so that the maximum benefit can be derived by using limited available resources. Here, this is equally influenced by two major factors: the external factors and the internal factors. The external factors are not controllable by the organization, while the internal factors are controllable by the organization. As such, it requires constant correlation and adaptability to effectively manage situations arising due to such factors. Here, the manager's ability, the manager's responsibility is to identify and grouping work to be performed, defining and delegating responsibility and authority, and establishing relationship for the purpose of enabling people to work more effectively together in accomplishing the objective. This leads us to entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? Many have defined entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a very dynamic area and newly trending area, even in terms of research. In the 21st century, it has grown beyond focusing basically on just the nature and the size of micro, small, and medium enterprises, because entrepreneurship is a process of bearing a non-insurable risk as to achieve business objectives. To me, entrepreneurship is more than a course of action and may be pursued, but more than a mindset in an organizational stage, as it creates, sees, and drives opportunities for the entirety of all the operations within and outside the organization. Thus, it involves activities necessary to create or carry on an entrepreneurial activities where not all markets are clearly defined or well established, in which relevant parts of the production functions are not completely known. Some of the features of entrepreneurship include innovation, risk-taking, opportunity recognition, and resource management. However, the Vice Chancellor, sir, we cannot discuss entrepreneurship on the basis of resources alone. For you having resources and thinking that going into entrepreneurship makes you to be a better businessman. It is not enough to put resources together because they are unique on their own. So if not properly managed, they might not necessarily give the needed or desired goal or result to the organization. Hence, the following question comes to mind. What is the nature of the resources that is available? Will these resources add tremendous value to the existing product or services? Are these products or services that intend to render open up an entire frontier new market altogether? To me, the only way resources can be unique and have the level of immutability and not be necessarily and easily copied by other organizations is through strategic management action, as seen in this diagram. Hence, strategic management comes into mind. Strategic management focuses on value creation, innovation, transformation to drive organization desired goal. It involves the assessment of an organization environment, determination of its goals and objectives, possible markets, opportunities, and identifying the resources needed to overcome environmental threats and organizational weaknesses, and applying resources necessary for meeting these goals and objectives. This implies that strategic management processes guides how the basic framework and organizational strategy with a view to ensuring a continuous renewal and growth of an organization into achieving a more competitive result. These are the 5 areas. From the review of extant literature, several definitions of strategic management have similar features. These therefore demand attention in this lecture as follows: goal setting, environmental analysis, strategic formulation, execution, continuous evaluation, and adaptation, as seen exhibited in the diagram. Simply put, this is where this lecture begins. Simply put, entrepreneurship and strategic management is interconnected as entrepreneur uses strategic approach and established organization adopt entrepreneurial thinking. From this, in the course of my academic endeavors, provided into how these two concepts converge and offer guidance for individual and organization seeking success in a dynamic business landscape. It is a general assumption that entrepreneurship is about self-employment and small businesses, but this is not so. It occurs even in large organizations too. The synthesis of entrepreneurship and strategic management gave rise to what I call entrepreneurial strategic management, and it is often a great concern to economic growth, as can be seen depicted in this equation. This equation simply means that entrepreneurship and strategic management relationship will provide entrepreneurial opportunity that leads to competitive advantage. Hence, if SM combines entrepreneurial mindset and strategic action, planning and execution to wealth creation, result can be saving grace to a developing economy like that of Nigeria. Since entrepreneurs and managers practicing ESM will constantly scan the environment for opportunities, develop innovative strategy, and pivot when necessary while adhering to a long-term vision. The big question: can we combine entrepreneurship and strategic management action to leverage value creation? The answer is yes. In the course of our research, we highlighted the importance of the concept and point out how they revolve over the years. Our major obstacle was lack of consensus on the differences. Since strategic management explains part of entrepreneurship, however, both represent two sides of the same coin: the creation and acquisition of value. Hence, entrepreneurship strategic management development is strategic to attainment of economic prosperity objective for any nation. This study, since it depends on its human resources for economic growth, we conducted another studies, and we observed that a firm's unique resources and capabilities, including entrepreneurial talent and innovative capability, can lead to sustainable competitive advantage. We also discover that the main difference between the two occurs in 5 dimensions, which include result, organization, performance, effort, and action. And this may be the answer to our economic woes leading to poverty alleviation, wealth creation and distribution, employment and income generation. This can be further highlighted in these 5 dimensions. The first is the procedural perspective. Under the procedural perspective, we observe that this clearly differentiates and conceptualizes the 2 areas. Here, strategic management has a focus on the development and maintenance of competitive advantage. Entrepreneurship stands out for identification and exploitation of opportunity. Same also, the linking between individual and opportunity, its influence on the environment, end-to-end relationship, innovation and recombination, and strategic entrepreneurship. Here is of great concern to us because this seeks to combine the 2 areas for the formation of a new field of study. Since the common objective is value creation, it explores how firms can balance risk-taking and innovation with strategic planning, resource allocation, and strategic leveraging entrepreneurial activities to gain a competitive advantage. Hence, the focus of organization will then be on maintaining competitive advantage in conjunction with exploring new opportunities. Through strategic entrepreneurship, as shown in this figure, it is possible to attain wealth creation and generation for those involved, as well as the whole of society. The search for an advancement, an advantage combined with new opportunity result in creation of value. Beyond the diagram, there is need to mention that the exclusion of one of these factors, that is management, will lead to inefficiency in the organization. As a result of that, we're then into making comparison between the 2. What then is management and what then is entrepreneurship? We discover that management is getting people with individual differences to work towards the same direction in a complex, difficult, and sometimes an impossible endeavor. This is because the term management at times is vague and uncertain. Again, it is often used interchangeably with administration because the pioneers of scientific management use the term administration to describe what is today referred to as management. However, distinct as it is from entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship is the creation of new enterprises to meet the new challenges and opportunity presented by a given situation. It is better for us to understand this conceptual issue. It will enable us, by the time I delve into the areas of their interrelationship, it will provide a better insight for us to have a better understanding in the area. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, unlocking this distinction between management. Management seeks to cope with the 5 W's and H of organizational objectives and operation in a changing environment. The definition has 3 key components, namely, seeking to cope. Here, management is a social process responsible for getting things done through others. Secondly, achieving objectives and operation. Objectives are operationalized as targets for attainment. Hence, organizations are more successful when their activities are guided by challenging and achievable objectives, by balancing effectiveness and efficiency and making the most use of organization's limited resources. Same also, coping with changing environment. There are 2 important elements that are illicit or implicit in all management definitions, and they are efficiency and effectively. Effectiveness is pursuing and reaching the appropriate goals. In other words, doing the right thing. Efficiency implies using minimum resources to achieve the goal. This definition of management, sir, is another mark of my voice to contributions in the field of management where I profess. This field of academic entrepreneurship, this field of academic entrepreneurship and strategic management primarily are focused on utilizing opportunities and adapting to changes. Therefore, one of the most distinctive connections between them, as I observe, is opportunities, and it's ranked at the center of both of them. Therefore, strategic management and entrepreneurship relationship is not just notion related to the behavior of seeking opportunity, but with the benefits that result in the creation of value of society, for society, organization, and individuals. As suggested by the diagram, there are 6 junction fields between entrepreneurship and strategic management. The 6 fields are internalization, top management team and governance, innovation, organizational learning, growth, organizational network, flexibility, and change. These 6 areas, these 6 junctions are affected by these 6 junctions are affected by 4 principal areas, which include the entrepreneurship mindset, the entrepreneurial culture and leadership, managing resources strategically, and applying creativity and developing innovation. A clear understanding of these junction fields, as provided in this lecture, allows entrepreneurs and managers to be involved in entrepreneurial strategic activities for higher quality of product and services. As a result of this point, a strategic management model has been created and can be seen in this figure, in this diagram. This diagram simply explains the mindset of an entrepreneur, combining together with entrepreneurial culture and entrepreneurial leadership, leading to managing resource strategically, which lead to applying creativity and developing innovation, leads to competitive advantage and leading to wealth creation. Providing explanation of these 4 specific areas is of great importance to us because they continue to maintain their presence while transforming operating responsibility to a better position to manage operating risk. This is not an exit. I took the case of Procter and Gamble. Guinness, and they sold their brand presence in Nigeria for them to position themselves in another country. As a result of that, we can see that good business leadership create a vision, articulate the vision passionately, own the vision, and redundantly drive to its completion. The second is entrepreneurship culture, and the third is managing resources, applying creativity. While the final one, here, the Vice Chancellor, sir, for maximum wealth enlargement or growth, consolidation of entrepreneurship and strategic management will direct companies towards a successful process. This goes to show that an effective consolidation will help companies from startup to established organizations in developing their relatively sustainable competitive advantage and responding to all kinds of important environmental changes faced. In this area, planning, long-term investment due to abrupt policy shift, such as sudden changes in tax law, import restriction, and foreign exchange control today, as such, the current business environment requires different kinds of approach, which many of them do not have the time for. Hence, the consolidation of entrepreneurial and strategic management becomes critical for organizations. This can be divided into 3 distinctive areas: the interface level, the intersection level, and the integration level. My objective is to establish a connection between the aforementioned domains and offer a comprehensive guide for scholars, practitioners, and policymakers to effectively navigate the dynamic terrain of innovation from performance and strategic decision making. The first is the interface. The interface has a theoretical foundation and its application. I discovered that The relationship in the interface can be traced to influence work acknowledging the interconnectedness of both domains. However, in terms of its application, it can provide the necessary way for businesses to grow in Nigeria from startup to established. Here we establish that at the interface level, with entrepreneurship and strategic management, it seeks to bridge the gap between the structure, the risk-averse nature of corporate operations and innovation, risk-taking spirit of entrepreneurship activities. This interface recognizes the importance of financing innovation and creating entrepreneurship endeavors bringing to organization. Secondly, this interface serves as a link between organization, established processes, and the dynamic world for entrepreneurship. Finally, it assists in formulating business strategy that align with the startup vision while accounting for marketing dynamics and competitive pressure. This interface allows startups to harness their innovative spirit while developing a more strategic approach to growth and sustainability. The second phase is the intersection. The research foundation of the intersection, the employment of structured strategic planning procedure enable entrepreneurs to methodologically assess market prospect, creative environment, and resource distribution. Because of it enhances the probability of achieving favorable outcome. In terms of its application, the intersection between strategic management and entrepreneurship and the strategic management principle guide the development and execution of internal entrepreneurial venture. It helps to bridge the gap between entrepreneurial mindset and established processes of the organization. It also involves developing operational efficiency, building strong teams, and adapting to changing market conditions while preserving the innovative core of the startup venture, as shown in the diagram. The third and the final stage is the integration. This idea posits that organizations are effectively managed in the pursuit of entrepreneurial opportunities, while simultaneously optimizing the utilization of their current resources and competence. Here, in terms of its application, as startups continue to grow, the integration of entrepreneurial spirit with strategic discipline becomes imperative. This integration involves embedding processes of continuous innovation into the organization DNA. Startups must align their daily business activities with long-term goals and develop a culture that embraces adaptability and learn from both success and failure. To integrate, facilitate the transition from reactive entrepreneurship to proactive strategic planning. It enables startups to capitalize on their initial entrepreneurial success by translating into long-term sustainability and expansion opportunity. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, aligning this concept can be in 6 areas: the innovation, the network and alliance, the institutionalization, the organizational learning, top management team, governance, and growth orientation. With this discussion of the interface, intersection, and integration of strategic management and entrepreneurship, we can then align to the 6 areas: fostering innovation, network alliance, internalization, and organizational learning. In summary, the Vice Chancellor, sir, these concepts are intricately interwoven into the interface, intersection, and integration of strategic management and entrepreneurship. They play a role in shaping how organizations manage innovation from alliance, internalization, facilitate organizational learning, establish governance, and maintain a growth orientation approach while balancing the dynamism of entrepreneurship with the discipline of strategic management. Since entrepreneurial enterprises frequently place a high emphasis on achieving rapid expansion in order to leverage market opportunities, it is vital to possess agility and flexibility as essential attributes for effectively adapting to changes in the market. Therefore, the fundamental principles of this junction play crucial roles in the fields of strategic management and entrepreneurship. They offer a conceptual structure for comprehending the manner in which organizations generate value, adapt to obstacles, and capitalize inside the intricate and ever-changing business landscape of the present era. The Vice Chancellor, sir, these are the areas of my contributions towards sustainable performance on Nigerian economy. I have explained the collaboration and paradigm shift in strategic management and entrepreneurship. Here are my personal contributions in this area. I have contributed to the development and improvement in the capacity building and quality of your degree awarding program in this university, as well as other universities across Nigeria and outside the shores of this country in the field of management. I have trained many undergraduate and postgraduate students in diverse ways, either through lecturing, coaching, mentoring, research, and others. I have equally supervised and successfully graduated 15 PhD students, 17 MPhil, and 42 MSc, both in business administration, rural financing and entrepreneurship, and MSc banking and finance, aside those still in progress. Those not mentioned are in the non-academic master degree awarding program and many undergraduates, some of whom are among us here. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my humble contribution to knowledge are based on two parameters. The course I anchor at the PhD level, titled Seminar on Strategic Management and Entrepreneurship, contributed immensely as the study carried out as an individual in the course of my investigating certain phenomena, or with my research team, colleagues, supervisee, or many other students, and published in international, national, and local reputable journals. By engaging in this aforementioned practice, provided a valuable means of contributing to the progress of knowledge in both fields, ultimately enabled me to contribute to the creation of more efficient strategy for contemporary and future startups and established organizations. There are fundamental principles at this junction of collaboration play crucial roles in this field. For example, they offer a conceptual structure for comprehending the manner in which organizations generate value, adapt to obstacles, and capitalize on prospects inside the intricate and ever-changing business landscape of today. My earlier research endeavor was mostly in the area of strategic management, where I have more than 30 publications. I published my first article in the realm of entrepreneurship titled Impact of Managerial Skills on Small and Medium Scale Businesses Performance and Growth in Nigeria in 2015 in European Journal of Business and Management. With Dr. Ibrahim Aliu, my then supervisee, who is now a reader in Bauchi State University, Gadao, and currently head Department of Business Administration, attracted more than 3,000 reads and some citations. This kickstarted my journey in this field of study. This fit into this saying. In the realm of academic, our curiosity acts as a compass, guiding us through the fog of uncertainty towards the ever-shifting horizon of knowledge. My contributions are in this area. My contributions are in 7 dimensions. First, a measuring performance. In these studies, as listed there, we identified that measuring performance are key performance indicators and metrics to success of entrepreneurial venture within the overall strategic objective. We also identified that strategic management provides tools and metrics for entrepreneurial innovative initiatives. This study will help improve in making informed decisions about resource allocation and enhance how innovations should be aligned with the organization's mission and vision. Hence, we have contributed in this area, which is a key benefit in their linkage. The second area is crisis management. We explain the troubling trend of multinational companies existing in Nigeria. The exodus became a recent concern because it has significant economic repercussions, prompting academics, policymakers, economics, and stakeholders to seek solutions to reverse this trend. Entrepreneurial ventures are facing unexpected challenges and crises, but we observe that strategic management may assist in crisis preparedness and effective response to ensure that long-term viability of the venture. This contribution is also key in their linkages. The third area is in competitive advantage. From the study listed, we established that entrepreneurial activities lead to identifying and development of unique product, service, or business models, while strategic management helps in formulating and executing plans to leverage these advantages effectively in the market to gain competitive edge and sustain it over time. We have again cognition in this area, which is key benefit in their linkage. The fourth area is long-term sustainability, while the fifth area is on corporate entrepreneurship. Then the sixth area is on sustainability and growth and strategic innovation. Here, the study were consistent with the assumption of the research-based view theory and HVT that places basic entrepreneurial knowledge as a key driver of firm performance. Thus, the study recommends strengthening entrepreneurial capabilities to promote better performance among SMEs. This marks another contribution in this field. And lastly, resource allocation. Here, we established that strategic management guides the allocation of resources, including financial, human, and technological, to support entrepreneurial initiative and efficient utilization to achieve goals. These strategic management principles must be applied to ensure that financial, human, and technological resources are used to support innovative projects that align with the organization's long-term objectives. Let me end this few contributions of mine in the ocean of knowledge with this quote from one of our greatest philosophers, Plato, which says, "The beginning is the most important part of the work." From my research endeavor on recovering the soul of managers who oversee organizations commonly face several challenges related to productivity and communication. Knowing how to recognize these challenges and address them helps increase a manager's confidence and ability to manage. The most common challenges of managing employees and ways to overcome these challenges are decreasing performance level. Managers who consistently review processes and procedures within the company can increase efficiency. Therefore, they must perform a workflow analysis to review current system and restructure weak areas. Being understaffed, managers must recognize when it is time to hire to help fulfill responsibility within the organization. 3, lack of communication. Another challenge management faces is ensuring effective communication because every member in organization has a different personality. There is a chance for miscommunication from time to time. Number 5, pressure to perform. 6, present absence of structure. 7, time management. 8, skepticism. 9, difficult employees. Then 10, transformation. Transiting from co-worker to manager. People who get promoted at work often find themselves managing old co-workers. This situation may feel awkward at first, but with time, the right leadership, it may become less of an issue. Workplace culture. One way to promote a strong work culture is by planning lunch outings and reviewing employees who exceed expectations. My final stage is to recommend the area where startups do matters to managers. And here is what recovers the soul for us. My investigation points to 3 elements that combine to create a unique, inspiring context for work, that is business intent, customer connection, and employee experience. Business intent usually originates with the entrepreneur and motivated by factors such as building businesses that improve people's lives by changing the way products or services were created, distributed, or consumed. This intent is communicated to employees in order to pursue them to trade stable jobs for long hours and low pay. What sets it apart as successful firms from unsuccessful firms will then be determined by the creativity and autonomy employees showed in the startup process. Customer connection. A close bond with customer is required for successful startup and must personally be connected to them in a way that unleash their energy and creativity. Same also, what sets apart successful young firms is usually the creativity and autonomy that employees encounter on the job, which foster greater engagement and better results. These are not simple cultural norms designed to shape behavior. Their effects run deeper and they spark a different, more intense kind of commitment and performance. They shape the meaning of work, render work rational instead of mere transactional. Employees connect with a galvanized idea, with the notion of serving to end users, and with the distinctive intrinsic reward of life on the job. People form emotion ties to the company, and those ties energizes the organization. This is the rediscovery of the manager's soul. Conclusion. Entrepreneurship and strategic management are intertwined. Because entrepreneurship represents the innovation and risk-taking aspect of business, while strategic management provides the framework for planning, implementation, and adopting strategy to achieving long-term success. Entrepreneurs need tools and concepts of strategic management to navigate the complexity of the business environment and make informed decisions that maximize their chances of success. Linking entrepreneurship and strategic management helps in defining entrepreneurial activities from a strategic perspective that helps companies raise their performance and develop sustainable competitive advantage, thereby increasing profitability or market share. Therefore, both new enterprises, startups, and long-established companies desiring to get today's and tomorrow's competitive advantage must learn how to integrate entrepreneurship with strategic management. Way forward. Firms that can identify opportunities in the external environment but are incapable of exploiting them may fail to realize their true potential in wealth creation. Similarly, the firms having attained competitive advantage but lack the ability to sense new opportunities despite of its current advantages may pose a disadvantageous position for each stakeholder, as any change in the market phenomena may diminish the rate of wealth creation or may erode the already created wealth. Hence, it is to be noted that wealth creation only takes place when a firm combines its effective opportunity seeking outlook with that of advantage seeking outlook. This marriage between strategic management and entrepreneurship have come to stay. My closing remark, the Vice Chancellor, sir. As a professor My role is not just to impart knowledge, but to serve as a guiding beacon in the vast, often tumultuous sea of learning, helping students navigate the complexity and uncertainty of their intellectual journey. As an advocate and explorer of frontiers of knowledge too, my core role also is to explore uncharted territories where each research question becomes an expedition, each discovery becomes a new landscape and a pursuit of knowledge. Academy is a journey into the unknown. I conclude this lecture with these 5 maxims. The secret of change is to focus all your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. There is no shortage of remarkable ideas. What is missing is the will to execute them. Almost everything worthwhile carries with it some sort of risk, whether it is marriage or whether it is flying into space. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Mr. Vice Chancellor, permit me to acknowledge the following. I never knew God loves me and could honor me this way to attain this level in life. I thought all this will end at the age 2 after the demise of my late father, Dr. James OLOWU Daudu of blessed memory. But God's blessing came upon me through my grandmother, late Madam Agnes Bello, uncles and aunties, notably among them, her name is Zaria, and also my auntie, Susan Adedayo. May God reward their labor of love and bless them in return. Firstly, I thank God for my parents, particularly my father of blessed memory, who gave birth to 5 of us. His dream to make us what we are was cut short by the hand of death. This might have been his desire for me. I wish he was alive to see the fruitfulness of God towards me. To my mother, an octogenarian, for your unwavering support, may you continue to live long in good health and still eat from this fruit of your labor. I am eternally grateful to them. To my late sibling, till we meet again, because Christ lives, death is not tragedy or triumph. I appreciate the incumbent Vice Chancellor, Professor Kabiru Bala, and the entire university management team for their support. I want to say publicly, big thank you to my wife. Please, can you stand up for recognition? My heart dropped. I married her 27 years ago. Just to tell you, Memuna, that you are wonderful. It is your great sacrifice, support, selfless lifestyle, and care that enable me to achieve this level in life. To my children, Isaac Osidile Daudu and James Osanemo Daudu were not left out of the sacrifice. May God elongate our lives to reap the fruit of this labor. And to others, I appreciate them all, and may God reward them abundantly. I must say thank you to my younger brother. Please, can you stand up for recognition? In person of Dr. Engineer Joachim Daudu and family, I have so much gratitude for your support, kindness, and love. Indeed, you revealed that the true foundation of this brotherhood is kindness and love. Thank you very much. To my elder sister and family, in person of Helen Gwani, please can you stand up for recognition? It was a joyful moment seeing you nurture your children to establish men and women. It is darling to let you know that you made good stride despite the hard and challenging time. Well done. And my younger ones and siblings, you will continue to rise to greater heights in life in Jesus' name. To my family and extended family, This is the most difficult aspect in writing an inaugural lecture. God has used many of you as my compass or direction till this time. However, you are too numerous for me to mention. I thank you all for what you have done. I will not forget my mentor, late Papa Job Adedayo, whose passion for education, discipline, God's way, and morality gave me encouragement to attain this feat in life. May your gentle soul rest in peace. Amen. My in-laws, I thank them so much for their immense understanding, prayers, and other contributions that have made me what I am by the grace of God. I'm also grateful to my religious leaders. They will not lose their reward, hence, on earth and in eternity. I have met some great and wonderful people inside and outside this university, that knowing them has been of some tremendous benefit and blessing to me in several ways, mostly in my career path, starting from Professor Sheikh Abdullahi, who mentioned others, their names are present. I say to my other colleagues that have assisted me, God will remember them for their good. I thank my dean, Professor Idris Ahmed, who has just been elevated to the rank of a professor. Well done for your hard work. And I equally thank my HOD, Professor Kabiru Injuri Ringi, and other colleagues in the department and other non-teaching staff for their support, especially in the times of promotion and for other times. I am grateful to God, to all my friends and mentees, that they were there in the times of my pains and gains. I appreciate them all. I also appreciate the departmental conference, seminar, and colloquium committee, especially Dr. Shitu Isa, Dr. Awal Inusa, Dr. Nasru Abdullah, Dr. Aliu Gemo, and Professor Salisu Umar, as well as Professor Jacob Jari, the chairman of University Organizing Lecture Committee, and his team for their commitment and assistance that made this lecture possible. God will continue to strengthen you all. To my students, you cannot withdraw from the bank of life what you didn't deposit. I know for being firm and friendly, but that is what it takes to accomplish the goal. I am happy to be part of your lives and you being part of my life. I feel humble and exalted. I am proud of you and appreciate you all. God bless you. Real good. I want to especially acknowledge all the distinguished guests and well-wishers present in this lecture. Words are inadequate to express my gratitude to you. On behalf of my family, we thank and appreciate you. Whatever we make come true for others, God will make it come true for us. My earnest prayer, God, you have given me so much. I humbly request one more thing, a heart full of gratitude and commitment. Wishing you a safe trip back home. With this, my Vice Chancellor, I say thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for that thought-provoking lecture. Actually, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kabir Bala, always admonishes us not to clap during inaugural lecture. But sometimes, some interesting lecture you will not be able to hold clap. Please, let's once again acknowledge the good lecture. I am privileged to invite the chairman of the occasion, the Vice Chancellor, mark and presentation of plaque. Chairman, sir.
They gave me an oversized struggling with it. Following in the footsteps of the inaugural lecturer, permit me to recognize a very good friend and his amiable wife, Engineer Enokuni. Engineer Enokuni was my best man. He was my best man 37 years ago. And the wife, as you have been told, is the elder sister of Professor Malachy, Mrs. Yini. A lecture well delivered. What do you say? Other than to appreciate the speaker and to hope that we have learned from him. But as is in the tradition of inaugural lectures, the Vice Chancellor is expected to make a few comments. And following that tradition, I'll just make a few comments. The lecturer, the presenter had a very good introduction. And in that introduction, he asked some very fundamental philosophical questions. And those fundamental philosophical questions speak to what a university is and should be. Some of the questions he asked are self-reflective. For example, he asked the question if our personal philosophy is still shaped by universal academic philosophy entrenched in the early academics under the canopy of the university. There are so many people who are in the university system who don't quite appreciate the culture, the traditions, and the values that are embedded in a university. Therefore, this self-reflective question is something that we need to ponder over. As members of this great university, is our philosophy aligned with the original concept of what a university should be? He also asked if the philosophy of the university management is congruent with that of the early universities. Of course, if you look at the university's mission statement, if you look at our strategic plan document, our philosophy is in line with some of the commanding heights of the early founders of universities. Excellence is one of them. ABU strives for excellence. That is why our graduates will always tell you they are naturally in terms of relevance, ABU has established itself as a very dominant, relevant university. There is hardly any organization in Nigeria that you will visit that you will not find an ABU graduate. That speaks to the relevance of the university in the country. However, the question of independence is still a matter of discourse. The question of autonomy and independence has not been fully settled. And we hope that that will be settled. In articulating that philosophy, he went on to give us a lecture beginning with a conceptual analysis of what startups are all about, established organizations, strategic management, and entrepreneurship. And he tried to align these concepts with what he considered to be the 6 junction fields between strategic management and entrepreneurship. And he drew a connection between strategic management and successful entrepreneurship. Now, towards the end, he drew our attention to his contributions towards the sustainability of the Nigerian economy through his work in strategic management. And of course, he concluded by drawing our attention to the words of great philosophers such as Socrates, when he said, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. That business opportunities are like buses, there's always another one coming. With those few remarks, I want on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and the University Management and all those who are present here today to say congratulations to Professor Malachy and to thank you for delivering this very exciting and stimulating inaugural lecture. Congratulations and God bless you. Lecture, series number 06/24, titled Demystifying Strategic Management and Entrepreneurship Connectivity, covering the soul of managers from startup to established organization. Today, Wednesday, 28 August 2024. Congratulations, sir.
Please, the family, Professor Malachy, come forward and join him to take pictures.
Family members.
Family, siblings.
Taking time actually to share this important event, and also to the inaugural lecturer for sharing his knowledge with us, especially on this complex area. We know that strategic management is one of the most complex areas in management. About sustainability, it's only when a business actually is able to strategize that it can be sustainable. I also want to extend this gratitude to members of the university community who actually find time to be here, to the organizing committee, especially to the chairman who has actually been very, very supportive of faculty to ensure that this actually take place. To other colleagues, we thank you very much, and we hope that this lecture would go a long way in improving businesses and actually applying, ensuring that entrepreneurship actually prevail. We hope that with this lecture, we are now getting
Thank you. The procession will return to the floor of the Senate building in reverse order. Thank you.